Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Halloween 2, the 1981 version, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance, Charles Cyphers, Lance Guest, Pamela Susan Shoop, Hunter Von Leer, Tawny Mayer, Anna Alicia, and Dana Carvey, barely, and directed by Rick Rosenthal. So let's just get right into this movie. I don't have any history with it because I'm the newbie in this series. Let's get into it. We pick up when the first movie ends with Sam Loomis returning by Donald Pleasance shooting down Michael Myers. And Michael still lives, and Dr. Loomis tells a man to call the police to let them know a killer is loose. And it felt weird to pick up after where the first movie ended. I don't like the new theme of this movie. It ruined the John Carpenter created for the original score, but has a hip to it. And it didn't sound as scary as the first one did. I do like how we moved from Michael's point of view. I thought it was a well done choice by the director, Rick Rosenthal, who will return as director in an upcoming Halloween movie. I won't spoil which one it is, and I'll get there when I get there. But he's doing a good job with the choices of where Michael Myers is. Laurie Strode, returned by Jamie Lee Curtis, is taken to the hospital while Dr. Loomis is taken by the cops, thinking he's bullshitting around about shooting Michael and not being human. I would call bullshit unless if I saw it, but I wasn't alive at the time this movie happened. Sheriff Lee Brackett, who was in the last movie and played by Charles Cyphers, who spent the last movie with Dr. Loomis, and here with Dr. Loomis searching for Michael, and while they're at it, they run into a kid that has a mask on that looks like Michael, but isn't, and a cop runs the kid over and burns him, which that's daring for a movie about a holiday, and I don't necessarily like that daring choice that director makes. I'm just gonna say it now. This movie isn't as good or at being scary or caring about the characters, to be clear. It's just not as good as or scary as the first movie. Mr. Garrett has to go outside and see what the problem is, and leaves, or should I say he's a security guard, and leaves Janet, played by Anna Alicia, a walkie-talkie, and she doesn't know how to use the walkie-talkie. And how do you leave someone that doesn't know how to use a fucking walkie-talkie to use it? I mean, for Christ's sakes. Another thing while Mr. Garrett is outside, he gets the crap scared out of him by a cat, which was done in the very cheap way. And when he goes inside in a tool station, I was like, God damn it, get the fuck out of there before you die. And of course, he gets motherfucking killed. And I felt that sequence was just horrible. Just horrible. We, the audience, see that Laurie and Michael are siblings in a dream sequence. And I do like that twist when we see it in a dream sequence. So maybe they changed the last name. Or no, actually, take that back. Myers was her original name, and then she got adopted by the Strodes. It makes sense. I did, however, find it funny when Bud and Janet go into the bathtub, together and getting naked while Michael turns on the hot water to extra hot, and Bud tries to turn it down the water. And while Janet puts on a towel while Michael strangles Bud to death, and Janet tells who thinks is Bud that she has to get back to work, and suddenly Michael kills her with the boiling water. It was brilliant and hilarious. I couldn't help but bust up laughing. Dr. Mixter's off-screen death with a needle in his eyeball was a horrible, disgusting moment of the film. And that I have a phobia of eyes, by the way, folks. I'm gonna say it now. If you put a needle in someone's eyes, I'm gonna go, oh, don't make me look. And anyways, I felt that was an effective way to show it's scary, but honestly, this movie isn't that scary. Laurie finds out Michael is in the same hospital she's staying at and escapes from death while barely walking or seeing anything. I did like that she tries to escape death while at the hospital. Michael chasing and around Laurie all over the hospital was incredibly intense, and I like how Laurie hides in a car. I thought that was a clever move. Jimmy is bloodied up, who has a crush on Laurie for some reason, or his brother does, and finds Laurie in his car, and he dies a slow death. And Laurie sees Dr. Loomis with his boss, as well as a marshal, and tries to call for help, and she runs while Michael goes after her, and Dr. Loomis lets Laurie in, and Michael goes through the glass door, and Dr. Loomis shoots Michael, but is still alive, and chases after Laurie and Dr. Loomis, and giving Laurie a gun. I found that to be way too obvious. Michael breaks through another door and stabs Dr. Loomis, and Laurie shoots him in the eyes. Ooh, that's gotta be fucking painful. And now Michael can't see either Laurie or Dr. Loomis. I do like the idea of shooting Michael in the eyes as a weakness. I thought Dr. Loomis blowing up a room and Michael catching on fire and dies was incredibly stupid, in my opinion. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 4.9 out of 10. I didn't like the first half of the movie, but I did like the second half better, and it was better handled, but I don't care for any of these characters, and if it's not quite as scary as Nora, was it as good as the first Halloween film? So next week, I will be back with Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and I would like to thank you guys for joining me for this review, and until next time, trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat.